This Friday, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier will debut on Disney Plus. But before we get into that talk, I want to do a little more WandaVision stuff before we do that. So today, I'm going to be ranking all 10 main characters of WandaVision. If you enjoy this video, if you watch this video and enjoy it, click the like button. Check out my channel. Consider clicking the subscribe button, and also, show your ranking of all 10 main characters of WandaVision down below in the comment section. With that said, let's get started. In last place, at number 10, is Ralph Bohner. Now, Ralph Bohner is not a good character for me. The whole reason I really like episode 5 it was because everybody was wondering if there was going to be a crossover between X-Men and the MCU, Fox's X-Men and the MCU. Then as you move into episode 7, you kind of wonder where they're going with Evan Peters. And then at the end, surprise, we were waiting. Ever since episode 5, we were waiting and waiting to see the X-Men in WandaVision, only to get a joke about boners. So that's very disappointing for me. And I don't think that Ralph Bohner twist was a good idea because then like we were wondering if X-Men were going to be introduced in the MCU in WandaVision, and then it just fell flat when they introduced Ralph Bohner to the show. So, for me, that wasn't a good idea, so easily in last place is going to be Ralph Bohner. At number 9 is going to be Darcy. Now, Darcy has had some good moments in the show. Her character is pretty straightforward, but the reason I have Darcy so low on the list, I don't have any big problems with her, but the reason I have her so low on the list is because she hasn't had a lot of screen time in the show, because at the end of the show, in the last episode, she only gets this tiny cameo where she runs over Hayward's truck, and then Hayward gets arrested. She only appears in that one scene for like 5 seconds. And then she didn't even appear in any of the credit scenes, while Jimmy Woo and Monica Rambeau did. And Darcy is like kind of one of those side characters that aren't really important to the show. So that's why I have her so low on the list, even though I have no problem with Darcy. At number 8 is going to be WandaVision. Now, WandaVision is a cool character. Now, don't get me wrong, I think he's a cool character. It's just, I think he's very underutilized in the show because he hasn't had much screen time. He only got that one post-credit scene in episode 8, and he only gets one action scene in WandaVision episode 9. When he battles Vision, the other Vision. So, the reason I have him so low on the list, I like his interactions between him and Vision. I like the fight scenes between him and Vision. But after all that explaining and then White Vision being restored back to the normal Vision, he just flies away. And we're just like, wait, where did White Vision go? Like everybody's still wondering where he is because that's the last we see of him of the show. So while I do like his role in the show, there's not much that I can say about him since he doesn't have much screen time. At number 7 is going to be the Twins. Now, I don't have any problems with the Twins, but the Twins are, again, they're just these side characters that show up once and often. They're good characters for me. And I liked it in episode 6 when they were wearing their comic accurate outfits of Wiccan and Speed. But like what they do really well what they're meant to do in the show is to be a sideline for Wanda and Vision and add a little spice to it. And that's what they do well. And at number 6 is going to be Jimmy Woo. Now, I didn't hate his character in Ant-Man and the Wasp, but I did think he was more improved in WandaVision and more interesting. Because since he's in that show, in episode 4, we see him pull out his ID with magic. Because in Ant-Man and the Wasp, he probably learned from Scott Lang. Because there's that scene where he asks Scott Lang, like, how'd you do the magic trick? And then he learns how to do magic. And then in the final episode, we get to see him pick a handcuff lock. Probably also because of Scott Lang, because Scott Lang is this criminal guy. And I think he's more improved than he was in Ant-Man and the Wasp. So that's why I have him at this place in the list. Kicking off our top 5, we're going to go with Director Hayward. Now, Director Hayward is one of the villains of the show, but I think he has a fully developed personality. He's a guy who thinks that he is doing good, but then he tries to eliminate Wanda because he thinks she's doing the damage inside of Westview. And for me, that makes sense. I don't have any problems with that because that makes sense. And also, he is a villain. He is a character. It's nice when he shows up on screen. And he's the director of S.W.O.R.D., and he's like the core of the outside world of the people that are not inside Westview. So this is the place that I put him. This is the place that I think is right to put him. Okay. At number 4 is going to be Wanda. Now she is not in number 1. She is not my top 3. But I have a good reason for that, because what's keeping her on my top 3 is that on the positive side, let's start with the positives. On the positive side, she lost everyone, so you can understand why she did what she did. But if you tell a viewpoint from one of the people inside of Westview, then suddenly all of that changes, and she made the people in Westview suffer for no reason. And I could totally respect why she turned Westview into this sitcom place. I could totally respect that. It's just that I don't think that they really fully developed her character. So that's why, unfortunately, she's not my top 3. So my top 3 are the characters that I really liked. And kicking off our top 3, we can't have the show without Agatha Harkness. Now, Agatha Harkness, the reason why she's in my top 3 is because when Wanda creates Westview, the sitcom Westview, and she's just taking advantage of it by making her glitch. And that's really interesting to me. And it made sense because Agatha is the one that is trying to become the Scarlet Witch. And Agatha is the person that took advantage of it, and like she made all this crazy stuff. She did all this crazy stuff in the show. It was revealed in episode 7 that she did the magic at the talent show. She was the one behind the camera. She killed the dog from episode 5. she sent Ralph Boner to Wanda. That's really interesting to me. And that big reveal in episode 7 and the Agatha All Along song is probably what made her jump up to my top 3. Our runner-up is Monica Rambeau. Now, the reason Monica Rambeau is so high on the list is because I think she has a great sense and she has a fully developed character arc. She starts off as this person inside of Westview who is just talking to Wanda normally, and then when she goes out of Westview, she turns out to be this sword agent who is trying to stop Wanda from making all these people suffer. And she does that throughout the show so much that she is willing to take the risk of going inside Westview for a third time through the barrier. And that's why I like her character so much. It's because she tries all she can to stop Wanda from doing all this damage to an innocent town. So, of course, Monica Rambeau has got to be in my top 3. But in first place is going to be Fake Vision. Out of all the characters on this list, Fake Vision might be the one that was the most honest. In episode 3, he sees that something's going wrong when Herb is glitching. And then in episode 5, he is brave enough to confront his wife and force her, and he tries to force Wanda to tell him what is going on inside of Westview. And when you move into episode 6, Vision goes on Halloween on his own, and he sees this person hanging the decorations over and over again, and he sees tears running down frozen people's faces. Those are very emotional scenes with Vision, and Fake Vision realizes that something is wrong inside of Westview. He is willing to confront his wife to tell him the truth, and he's not real. So, of course, Fake Vision has to come in at number 1 for me. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to click that like button, consider subscribing, check out my channel. If you want more WandaVision related content, they're in my channel. And I'm probably going to do a little bit more WandaVision this week. I will see what I could do with WandaVision, and I will see you in the next video.